There are more than 100 hormones that work together to help us keep us feeling healthy. But what happens when they're out of whack? Well, the list of symptoms is long, but it does include everything from adult acne to fatigue and bloating.
Today we're looking at the everyday habits that can hijack your hormones and how to balance them out with a few simple changes.
For more on this, we're joined by naturopath and author Belinda Kirkpatrick. Belinda, hello. Terrific to have you with us. Let's start with adult acne. It's something that most of us think is kind of left in the past.
Yeah.
What causes it?
It can be a few different things, from nutritional deficiencies, certain bacteria, too much sugar in the diet, but also potentially high testosterone levels or too much testosterone in the blood, which can happen with things like polycystic ovarian syndrome or certain sort of hormonal imbalances.
I get a few little spots, even in my late 30s now, Belinda. What should I be eating? What are you laughing at?
Possibly isn't hormonal acne, however, maybe it is. So if
Too much testosterone?
Possibly, yes. So if it is, you could be doing things like, avoiding dairy tends to kind of block pores and can make skin just a little bit more kind of congested. Spearmint tea, interestingly, there's been a few research studies on using spearmint tea to reduce androgens or male hormones like testosterone, and just 2 cups a day can help to do that. So it's fantastic for women out there with sort of hormonal acne. And then also too, if you can add things like turmeric to your food, which basically reduces inflammation and helps the liver to clear and detoxify.
Right, well, bloating is something that seems to affect everyone. So what's going on here?
Yeah, so look, there's, you can have sort of, I guess, sort of poor digestion, or if you were talking about hormones, sometimes it's when the body actually around your period releases these things called prostaglandins. They're quite inflammatory and they can affect your digestion, slow it down, just make everything just a little bit more inflamed. One of the main things to do there, and it always sort of shocks people that the naturopath says this, is to take out a lot of the salads and raw crunchy foods, And
that's what you expect a naturopath to say that you should be eating.
Correct. Yeah. And I don't mean go and just get, kind of like sandwiches instead, maybe sort of like cooked and warm foods. And the reason for that is, there's a reason that cows have 4 stomachs to digest grass, right? Like plant food's actually really hard to digest.
Right.
So if your digestive system's not working particularly well, and then you eat all these really fibrous kind of crunchy foods, rocket salads, crunchy apples, you can often feel really sort of bloated.
Okay. What about fatigue? A lot of us have a busy lifestyle, we're tired. What can we do there?
Yeah, there's lots of things that are kind of causing fatigue, and sort of around your cycles is sort of a big one for that. It can be low iron or thyroid problems, but like you said, sort of stress and just being busy are probably the biggest ones. So I would say the main thing is to make sure that you're eating regularly so that your blood sugar levels don't drop. It needs to be protein at each meal and snack if you can, and that makes a big difference. A lot of people aren't getting enough protein. And avoiding coffee, which again seems potentially...
Belinda.
I know. Look, it's lovely, everybody loves it, but when you don't have the high, you don't get the low. Yeah. So you tend to kind of have a more stable energy when you don't have the coffee.
Is there a right amount of coffees you should have a day?
Look, I think 1 coffee is probably fine for most people, but if you are feeling really exhausted, it might be just time to give it the flick for a little while and see how you feel.
Right.
And maybe cut back on the dairy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much. Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Belinda.
Thanks.
For more, pick up a copy of Belinda's new book. It's called Healthy Hormones.